We scroll through Instagram while watching TV, listen to podcasts while working at the computer, and even watch TikTok videos split into two parts so we can see two clips at once. It's madness. I'd like to say that I'm above all this, but no, I take part in it just as much as, if not more than, anyone else. When I say we, I really do mean all of us. So how did we get to this point? Why can't we endure a moment of silence without feeling anxious? Why do we always need to be watching or listening to something? What happened? The simplest explanation is the chase for dopamine. And maybe that's what you just thought of. Before I started working on this video, I believed that too. But as it turns out, although the idea of quick dopamine pleasure is still relevant, it's largely a myth. The truth is tied to a misunderstanding of dopamine's role, shrinking attention spans, and a lot of broken promises. If things are already complicated now, where are we headed? Can new forms of stimulation keep emerging endlessly, competing for our attention? It's a complicated puzzle, but we'll try to put it together. The common belief is that we crave constant stimulation because we're seeking quick bursts of dopamine. We're all supposedly addicted to this so-called pleasure chemical. Every time we find a funny video or an attractive image, we get our dose, and then we come back for more, again and again, endlessly. This idea neatly ties dopamine and self-improvement into an appealing package. Many people say that the key to happiness is a dopamine reset. It's simple and easy to understand, but it's not entirely true. It's more complicated than that. Dopamine is not released as a pleasure chemical. It is activated before we experience pleasure as a chemical of anticipation. The reward itself is not so important for dopamine release. From an evolutionary perspective, this helps form a try-again mentality. If you're hunting and you miss, dopamine encourages you to try again. It has been scientifically proven that near misses trigger even more dopamine than actually achieving the desired result. Imagine you press a button and get $5. The anticipation of this reward causes dopamine to be released. But if the button suddenly starts giving you $100 per press, you'll get even more dopamine, but only for a while. Then your dopamine level will drop back to what it was with $5, even though you're still getting $100. And if the button goes back to giving $5, your dopamine will fall even lower than it was at the start. If dopamine were a pleasure chemical, you would get a certain amount of dopamine for $5, more for $100, and then the same amount again for $5. But that's not the case. $5 stops triggering dopamine when it becomes your new normal. Think about taking a walk. A walk by itself was a reward compared to just sitting at home. Previously, a walk in nature in silence was wonderful. Then we were offered to listen to a podcast while walking. That was even better, and we did it until it became boring. Then we started scrolling through TikTok while listening to a podcast during our walk. That was amazing. But now just a walk, like those $5, seems incredibly boring. Unfortunately, there's no end to this. The human brain is not designed to find satisfaction because of our dopamine system. The more we consume, the more we want. This is perhaps one of our most fatal flaws. So we're forced to constantly seek stimulation because we got our $5, then $100, then $1,000, and now $5, whether it's a walk, relaxing in the park, or making breakfast, just isn't enough. How do we fix this? It's difficult because solving the problem requires a complete understanding of its causes. And dopamine itself is useful, but it doesn't give us the whole picture. Our ability to concentrate is getting shorter. And this has been proven. We all probably feel this intuitively, but numerous studies confirm this phenomenon. As the amount of information in the world grows, we are left with limited space in our minds. The problem is that instead of ignoring some of the information, we, our peers, and our culture convince us to cram everything into our brains. We're told that we have to care about every piece of news and every event. It's our modern duty, the fear of missing something important. If we're not up to date on everything, we're seen as indifferent, insensitive, or ignorant, or all of the above. But at the same time, we have our own personal interests. We have endless information at our fingertips about what we truly enjoy, and what's the point of living if we can't do what we love? So little by little, we've decided to fit everything into our limited time. The space of our consciousness hasn't expanded, it's just been divided into ever smaller pieces with each passing day. When we combine this with the fact that the more we consume, the hungrier we become, it becomes clear why we need constant stimulation. But there's another piece to this puzzle. It was believed that technology would lighten our collective burden. Robots, computers, they were supposed to take some of the load off our shoulders. Technology freed us from physical strain, but replaced it with spiritual exhaustion. It eliminated physical distance, but created a new kind of separation. With access to all the information in the universe, we were supposed to be rid of ignorance. But instead, ignorance has only grown. We are forced to grapple with the consequences of a broken promise brought about by technocratic governance, the capitalist system, and ourselves. I can't sit here and seriously advocate for the destruction of modern technology, but I wonder, when will we reach the point where technology does more harm than good? How will we know? I don't have an answer to that question. Social change happens slowly on a large scale. That's how we ended up here. We can acknowledge the problems, vote to solve them, and work together to address them. But today, as an individual, you cannot change the system you are facing. However, you do have power, you do have agency, because you can change how you act within this system. If you're looking for a clear way to overcome the obstacles I've talked about, I'm sorry, but this video can't provide it. I don't think any video can do that. We're all different, with different brain chemistry, life experiences, cultural influences, and circumstances. There is no universal solution to this problem, just as there isn't for many others. Meditation helps many people, but not everyone. Giving up digital life can be helpful, but for some people it's completely unrealistic. The list of possible solutions could go on. All I can do is share my own perspective, and maybe it will be useful. I'm doing this knowing that I haven't won this battle myself yet. Fleeting moments of pleasure are not true happiness. Perhaps it's worth reconsidering and redefining what truly and consistently makes us happy. A person can search for these things and maybe even find joy in the very process of seeking or achieving them. Consuming media is easy, but making changes is hard. Changing something in this world is incredibly difficult. I'm still far from that myself. Ultimately, I think that in the process of making such changes, every day will be a struggle, and you will experience failures. But every day you can get up and try again. Join our Telegram channel to find more content like this and continue this journey together.